I understand what you're saying, but you know, a lot of the stuff you talk about, it kind of sounds like the Israelites. I'm not gonna lie.
No, hell no. That's a religion.
What's going on, family? Today I want to discuss a topic that came up recently from someone I have tremendous respect for, and that is Tariq Nasheed. Let me say from the outset that this video is not an attack on Tariq. As a matter of fact, I believe that this video that we're going into now is confirmation, because on yesterday, as I was scrolling through YouTube, O'Shea Duke Jackson, another content creator, did a video based off Tariq Nasheed. And just to give you just a little overview of that video, O'Shea Duke Jackson basically said that he spoke with Street Media TV, which is another podcaster, and he was just saying how, you know, we should never go against or speak against Tariq Nasheed. And O'Shea Duke Jackson basically just gave his 2 cents about Tariq Nasheed, which was very positive. So I just want to say this video in no way, shape, or form is an attack on Tariq. His work, his documentaries, like I said, started me on my journey with the Hidden Colors. I've also donated what I could to the Hidden Color 6. Can't wait for that to come out. And his conversations are helping us as a people, as a lineage together, to bring to the forefront Black American history and identity. So I want to say that first and foremost. However, respect does not require agreement on everything. We can agree to disagree on certain things. So I wanted to give that little intro, because now I'm getting ready to go into the paint. The other day, I was listening to Tariq Nasheed. I think he has a new one called Isms Radio. And so I was listening to his broadcast. And the question and topic of his broadcast was, is FBA the same thing as an Israelite? And I listened, and the discussion really came about when this caller called in and said, well, you sound a lot like the Israelites. And I listened to the discussion. I felt there was an important distinction that needed to be made. My position is simple, and that is a person's acceptance or rejection of a label does not change their lineage. Matter of fact, there has been several instances on Tariq's radio, now known as Ism Radio, where people have called in and said, well, this Black person don't consider themselves to be FBA, or this person doesn't consider themselves to be FBA. And he said, well, it really doesn't matter if that's what they want to label themselves or not. It still doesn't change the fact of who they are and what they are. And Tariq has said that several times on several of his podcasts. So whether or not someone calls themselves FBA, Black American, African American, an Israelite, Christian, Muslim, Baptist, or none of the above, their personal identification does not alter who their ancestors were. Lineage exists independent of what we choose to call ourselves. So in this video, I just want to explain and show my evidence of why I feel that that question of is FBA the same as Israelites, I want to just speak on that for a little bit. So let's go ahead and get into it. One thing I've noticed is people often confuse identity with lineage. Identity is what a person chooses to call themselves. Lineage is what it is, regardless of what a person believes. For example, if someone is born into a particular family and decides they no longer want to identify with that family name, that decision does not erase their ancestry. Likewise, if someone never uses the term FBA, that does not automatically mean they are not a foundational Black American. And if someone rejects the term being a Hebrew Israelite, their rejection of the term alone does not determine what their lineage is either. The central question should be, what do you call yourself? The central question should be, what is your lineage? Those are two completely different conversations. Too often people are debating labels when they should be debating evidence, which I want to bring you just a few things today, history, which I want to bring to you today, ancestry, and lineage. Now let me just say, maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, I did an extensive video on I'm Not African Part 1 and Part 2. And they were about maybe 20 to 30 minutes long each. But I really went into depth about who we are. Now, there are a lot of videos from other Blacks. And when I mean other Blacks, I'm talking about Africans and also Caribbeans who have stated, you all don't know who you are. So when we say that we're American, they say, yeah, but where are you really from? We get that all the time. You could go on YouTube under the Our Black space, and that's all you find is those other blacks trying to diminish us as if we don't know who we are and where we came from.
Africans, like where are you from? We're sorry, we don't know where we're from, but we're from America, but we don't really know our traces back to the motherland.
I mean, there's our roots a lot more, but we are more kind of like culturally diverse.
But is it weird when African Americans don't know where they're from in Africa?
Yeah, strange.
It's not really our fault though.
What ethnic race in the UK, like we tend to bond more with other people when we talk about like what country we're from.
British Africans here get mad at me when I say I'm American. My granddad's been in America.
You're an American citizen. Do you know what you are? No, ethnically.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would find that strange. I feel like I wouldn't really have a personality.
What?
Yeah, because
you wouldn't have a personality because you don't know where you're from.
I take pride in.
Now, I'm team myself all day. I have to take care of myself first before I can take care of anybody else. But I hear a lot of us saying, oh, I know who I am. I know where we come from. But that may be true. But our lineage goes back further than the Americas, whether you were here. Our ancestry goes back further than Africa. And this can be proven, whether we want to accept it or not. However, I believe that if we learn our entire true history, everything around the earth would change. We have to keep in mind, we are dominant in everything we do, from the inventions, from our creations, from sports, from science, from literature. Everything we touch turns platinum gold. They're diamonds. And there's a reason behind that. So I just want to get into some things, if you don't mind, and I'm not going to hold this video long. I want you to set aside Israelites as being a religion, because it is a religion, but that's not all it is. It's also a bloodline. Kendrick Lamar understands this. He doesn't necessarily practice being a Hebrew Israelite, but he knows he is an Israelite by blood. So I want you to, if you can, open up your mind and step out of the box that you're in and look at the Bible, the King James Version, as being a history book and not a religious book. So if you go to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, starting at the 32nd verse, I implore you to read all of Deuteronomy 28. Keep in mind that verses 1 through 15 were the promises of our people that were supposed to be for us. But verse 15 contrasts and say, but if you don't do these certain things, then these events will happen to you. So 16 through 68 are what they call the curses that shall come upon us. So as I'm reading just a few of these, I want you to see if that in any way relates to us. So Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, starting at the 32nd verse. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. Okay, so that's the first one. Verse 36. And the Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy father have known. And there thou shalt serve other gods, wood and stone. So if you think about us as a people, we're either Christians, which the symbol for that is the cross, made out of wood, or we are Muslim. And I believe that stone is called the cobblestones, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a stone. Let's go to 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Do we not, in our communities, do we not deal with hunger, thirst, nakedness? Are we not at the bottom, so to say? 49 says, and the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from one end of the earth, as swift as an eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Like, bro, there was a whole slave trade. Like, I don't know where I'm from.
And they almost shame us for not knowing.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you think it was my choice? That for not knowing? They took her last name.
We don't have a culture, we don't have food, we don't have a language, we have nothing, and that's not our fault.
I would say we have a culture though. I feel like Black Americans have a culture now with the music, the food.
Yes, but there's not like how they have a culture, and they don't understand.
And they can't comprehend that.
Now, what is the state bird? Or what is the national bird? Isn't it an eagle? Okay. Let's go to 50 of Deuteronomy 28. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. Civil rights movement, those who were working in the field in their 70s, 80s, and 90s, and they didn't care. Now, let's go to 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. 65. And among these nations shall thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord shall give thee a trembling heart, and a failing of eyes, and sorrow of the mind. Are we not talking about what happened in South Carolina with that 14-year-old boy? Are we not talking about Chud the Builder? Did we not have a problem with Charlie Kirk? Oh, we could keep going on. Michael Brown. Oh, we could go on with the list. We have no ease. We can't be easy. We can't relax. And this is the kicker. Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt. Now, what happened in Egypt? There were slaves in Egypt. There was bondage in Egypt. So 68 says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way thereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more. We never went back to Africa. Africa never came to get us, because they knew who they were selling. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. I'm just saying, to see if that sounds like us. So you might be asking, okay, well, why would God allow these things to happen? Or why are we still in the same predicament? You have to go to Deuteronomy, the 32nd chapter, and I'm just going through this. Starting at the 16th verse, it says, they provoked him to jealousy with strange gods. With abominations provoke they him to anger. 17 says, they sacrifice unto devils, not to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. These gods that we service, whether it's the Greek gods, whether it's Allah, all of these other gods, Buddha and all of these other gods, and all these other African spiritualities and all of this dark stuff that we deal with, voodoo, and all of that stuff. He said they sacrifice unto devils, not to God, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came up newly, whom your fathers feared not. 21 says, they have moved me to jealousy with that which is not. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. Who's a foolish nation, people? We move like we have sin. Them other people who y'all like to call supremacists, those people are a foolish nation. 26 says, I said I would scatter them into the corners. I would make them remembrance, or I would make the remembrance of them cease from among men. So a lot of these Africans that say that, oh, you don't know where they are, some of them know exactly who we are and why we were sold. They're just hoping that we don't find out collectively, because a lot of us are, but they're hoping that we don't. But for these other people, these other nations that have come into the United States, they have no clue. Even the dominant society, they're starting to realize exactly what's going on now. Carson Tucker, to be exact, and many, many other ones. 27 says, were it not that I feared the wrath of the enemy, lest their adversaries should behave themselves strangely, and lest they should say, our hand is high, and the Lord have not done all this. That's what they're saying. That's what we are saying. Man, God, man, he do all that. He has nothing to do with racism. He has nothing to do with why we're in the situation we're in. We are highly educated. I can look in this book and find this, and I've gotten all these degrees that tells me this. Don't you know that most of the degrees that we have had to appease the oppressor? So of course they're not going to tell you exactly what you need to know. They're going to tell you what they want you to know in order for you to continue to run in this system, to make them all wealthy and to keep them being dominant. 28 says, for they are a nation void of counsel. We don't have any black leaders. Neither is there any understanding in them. The question we ask, I don't care what black news media outlet you watch, they all ask the same question. Why? Why don't they like us? Why are they treating us like this? Why won't they give us our reparations? Why won't they? Why? But it says in 28, for they are a nation void of counsel. We don't have any, like I said, any leadership. Neither is there any understanding in them. We can't understand why they're treating us like this. It goes on to say, 32, for their vine, and he's talking about us, for their vine is one vine of Sodom and of the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of guile or gall. Their clusters are bitter. Their wine is the poison of dragons and the cruel venom of apes. We have fed into this westernized system, and we're doing the exact same thing as them folks. As a matter of fact, they're the ones who started all of this perversion, but we picked it up. And now they're saying, oh, see? Megan Thee Stallion, you see? Sexy Red, you see? Atlanta? So they switched it up. So going to Jeremiah, the 15th chapter, or going to Jeremiah, the 5th chapter, starting at the 15th verse. It says, lo, I will bring a nation upon you from far, O house of Israel, Israelites, said the Lord. It is a mighty nation. It is an ancient nation, a nation whose language thou knowest not, neither understand what they say. These Europeans just didn't start in Europe. It goes all the way back to the Roman times. Romans, the 19th chapter, the 10th chapter, starting at the 19th verse. But I say, did not Israel know? Did not the Israelites know? First Moses said it, I will provoke you to jealousy by them that are no people, and by a foolish nation will I anger you. We just want equality. We just want to be like them on the same playing field. They're foolish nation, according to scripture. But this is the kicker. And I behoove you, and I'm going to end it shortly after this. Psalms, the 83rd chapter. And I'm going to start at verse 3. And it says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, my people, and have consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may not be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. Do we not have Africa right now trying to speak for us? With the United Nations, in the United Nations, a whole lot of different countries. The word says they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, against us. The tabernacle of Edom, I'm gonna let you figure out who that is. And the Ishmaelites of Moab. And it has Amalek down here. It has the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Tyre is an old ancient African name. So if you look at this particular chapter, you can actually go into ChatGPT or Google, and you can actually put in, well, who is Edom? You might have to do a little digging. Who are the Ishmaelites? The Ishmaelites are the Arabs. You can look at all of these people. All of these people are the same ones that we are fighting against today. So the question, is FBA the same thing as Israelite? The answer is yes, indeed. And I know we are delineating, which I am glad we are. But in the same sense, those in the Caribbean and a lot of these people, they don't know, just like a lot of us don't know exactly who we are and how back our ancestry actually goes. So I hope that this helps. Like I said, it's not meant to be disrespectful, but let me know your thoughts. And I really hope that you go to Psalms, the 83rd chapter, look at these names that are listed, and actually research them and start to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Because when we do that, you all, when we swallow our pride and our dignity and our so-called education that we've learned from the oppressors, when we swallow that and actually start putting the pieces together, the whole world will change and everything will work in our favor, because we will then know how to move throughout this earth. And the question will no longer be why? We will then move from questioning to execution. So please, I want to hear or see your feedback. A lot of you don't give me feedback. Give me feedback. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. May the Most High bless.